How many of you are second generation natives in Kolkata? I'm not talking about the first generation people who moved into Kolkata, but people who've been here since their birth. No one? Okay. And how many of you moved into Kolkata in last 15 to 20 years? Do you often hear from people कि कोलकाता में क्या रखा है? क्या ये हमें सुनने मिलता है? I came in 15 years ago, and the moment I told people I was moving to Kolkata by virtue of marriage, they were like, my God, you are done for. Your career is done for. It was a common emotion, but that was then, not today. Because today, Kolkata is also emerging as a thriving startup hub. Entrepreneurs here are breaking barriers, defying norms, and building ventures that are making a mark beyond the city, beyond borders. We had a couple of discussions in the morning which very clearly tell us that Kolkata is emerging as a transformative city for the startup ecosystem. But what makes Kolkata's startup ecosystem unique? What are the challenges, the opportunities, and success stories shaping this new wave of innovation? Are you all interested in listening to this story of Kolkata startups? Thank you. And for that, we have our next panel discussion, and I would like to invite our panelists. Our first panelist is Yash Sarawagi, co-founder Kisah Apparels Private Limited. Can we welcome the panelists on the stage, please? Our second panelist is Gaurav Jalan, founder and CEO, mPokett. A big round of applause for our second panelist. Our third panelist is Nipun Kochar, founder and CEO of Jewelbox. A big round of applause for Nipun. Our fourth panelist is Vikram Khinwasara, co-founder Yellow Straw. I'm sure we've all consumed from Yellow Straw sometime or the other. A big round of applause for Vikram. And to moderate this panel, we have somebody who doesn't need any introduction because he is one of the pioneers of the startup story in Kolkata. Please, let's welcome Sagar Daryani, co-founder and CEO, Wow Momo Foods Private Limited.
It's not where you sit, it's how you sit and make it happen. Hi guys, good afternoon. I think time to wake you up from lunch so that we can refresh you to have momos and kulfi again. But thank you so much for having me here. I think Kolkata, जो भी बोल लो उसको. Calcutta, TiECON, Calcutta is very close to my heart. I don't know how many of you know, but 2015, I was fortunate to meet my mentor, my angel investor, Sanjeev Bikhchandani in TiECON, Calcutta. We had a Wow Momo stall there. I knew investors were coming, so I took chance pe dance mara. And people were not eating food in five-star food in a buffet, but were all eating complimentary momos. And I think Sanjeev saw the crowd around it, the buzz around it. Simple logic है, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, वही सीखा है, कलकत्ता ने सिखाया है. So I think very blessed that had TiECON not been there, I guess Sanjeev would have not come into my life. So thank you so much, TiECON Calcutta. Thank you so much. Owe a lot to this city, owe a lot to the ecosystem, and no matter how much I try to give back, I think it will always be lesser, but we'll continue doing it. Love the city, promise that my head office, my corporate office will always be here. Proud to build Calcutta's national brand and hopefully international brand someday. Thank you so much. Just set the context for the session. I think it's about booming beyond, it's about Kolkata startups. Calcutta has always been known for its art, intellect, culture. It's the cultural capital of the country. But when we talk about startups, people say, yaar, Kolkata mein koi action nahi hota hai, yaar, startups Kolkata mein nahi hai. I think all that is a myth. And I'm here to bust that myth. Honestly, and very honestly, this whole belief that businesses are scaled, grown and built in Bangalore, Delhi and funded in Bombay. I think we are here, all of us are here to prove you wrong, and we have several such examples. I mean, at Wow Momo, we are there in 200 plus malls across the country, and when I walk into any mall, I see a big Manyavar store, I see a big Senco Gold store, I see a GKB Opticals, Style Bazaar just did an IPO. I mean, you look at industry, you look at Tega Industries, what an IPO it had. I mean, look at its market cap. You look at Titagar Wagons, jitna bhi, this Duronto trains and the other fast trains that we see is all coming from them, right? They are the largest manufacturer of railway wagons in the country. Talk about, you talk about tech and, we have our very own IndusNet Technologies, which also did an MSME IPO. We have someone like Sasta Sundar, 2013 e-pharmacy. Imagine selling medicines online. Who thought then? Got acquired by Flipkart. So I think हमारी history बहुत है. I think हम बात ज़्यादा नहीं करते हैं, and it's people like you and me who need to come forward and talk about our city, about the greatness of our city. And I think that's where these platforms, these forums help. I'll quickly come to the session. I'll want each one of you to quickly introduce yourself in 2 minutes. I'm in the quick service restaurant space. We're running short on time, so I've been asked to make up for time. But, earlier it was about commerce, then quick commerce. Now we're talking about fashion, fast fashion. So we have a great panel here. Yash, quickly, if you can pick up the mic and quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll get bombarding with the questions.
A very good afternoon, everyone. So I represent a brand Kisah, which is the new age Indian menswear brand. We stand for the aspirational fashion which the youth requires today, right? If you think of a boy, in the digital age today, a boy sitting in a Kulaba house and a boy sitting in a New Mumbai house would have a very similar aspiration. They all want the clothes that they see celebrities on social media every day. And I'm fortunate to be from Calcutta because this is, as Sagar rightly pointed, the cultural hub, which helps us stay ahead in giving the aspirational fashion available to the youth of the country today. Over to you, Gaurav.
Gaurav, over to you.
Hi, I'm Gaurav, founder of mPokett. mPokett is now about 9 years old, started in Calcutta. We are a digital lending company. We specialize in providing credit to what we call the underserved youth of India. So these are people who don't earn very high salaries and therefore don't have access to credit from formal institutions, and we specialize in identifying them, underwriting them, and delivering credit to them so that they can meet their daily needs. We're a pan-India business, but we have a very strong Calcutta presence, and this city got us started.
Hi everyone, I am Nipun Kochar, founder of Jewelbox. We are a lab-grown diamond jewelry brand. Started out of Calcutta. Currently we have 8 stores across the country, and we are an omni-channel brand selling both online and offline. Thank you.
Well, Nipun has good news today. Nipun, why don't you announce it? Go ahead. I won't take away the limelight from you.
So I think, so we are raising a pretty decent round at a valuation of about 160 crores, and we'll be announcing it next week.
कौन कहता है कलकत्ता में फंडिंग नहीं मिलती है? And the name of his investor is a world-class investor, by the way. I can't reveal it now. I'll wait for him to announce it, but well done, Nipun. Proud of you.
Hi, myself Vikram Khinwasara. I am from the Yellow Straw. So whenever you think about the healthier alternative and you want to imbibe your good fooding habits, we are there for you. So we are into fresh fruit juices, salads, smoothie bowl. We have 18 outlets. You think any of the best locations, we are in Kolkata. And recently we are expanding outside Kolkata. Hyderabad is our first city. And we are here to make healthier India. Thank you.
So Vikram is completely bootstrapped. I think he doesn't want to raise funding also, नहीं तो उसका भी stall लगा हुआ होता और हम पी रहे होते और कोई investor शायद invest कर लेता. But I'll now come to my first question, and talking about bootstrap. I think Calcutta is known for its cash-rich businesses, right? And largely we have seen cash-rich heritage businesses coming out of here. People know how to make money. There is a cash cow. Many startups whom I know, have bootstrapped, gone to a scale, haven't really raised funding. Now, my question to each one of you here is, and I'll start with maybe Nipun first because you just raised a round. Nipun, is it that we are more focused on financial discipline, that's why we go for bootstrapping, or is it that the ambition here is less, or the risk-taking ability here is less? Or is it that we can say that investors have done enough iski topi uske sir, people have had enough of chasing growth, and now I think the next 10 years are for Calcutta, because Calcutta is now delivering rich, profitable businesses which are growing, and which is what maybe I feel personally investors are going to look at. So I think the next 10 years is a gold mine for us. I mean, the juice is out everywhere else, and this is the time to be here. What's your take on this?
Absolutely, Sagar, I agree with you. So I think the basic difference between a Calcutta-based startup and startup, say, in Bangalore or NCR, is that we look at bottom line first, and probably they look at top line first. So, while our thought process is always, are we profitable? Can I sleep at night, if my book is in red? I think I cannot. But at the same time, yes, it does come at a cost of growth. So I think we need to shift more towards growth focused, and then look at our PL and our operations in a manner that if I want to
But today,
control
are
it-
you willing to look at the long-term picture that till now you've bootstrapped, you reached profitable, now you've raised funding? Obviously, there will be a question of growth versus profitability, and there will be that entire journey where it's a long-term picture that you look at. But are you now, I'm sure with the kind of investors you have, they will push you for growth, and obviously financial discipline will be there. But do you think entrepreneurs today from this city are willing to take that plunge and have that risk-bearing ability?
See, I think entrepreneurs from Calcutta are majorly, if I look at their educational background, we are less of BTechs, right, and more of commerce, right? So I think the whole thought process is, are we profitable? But yes, for growth, for expansion, we need to go all in. We need to come up with a lot of overheads, which might get our books in red. But I think what we will definitely do as a city is look at our business in a manner that tomorrow, if I want to control my books in 6 months period, I can do that. While I think other cities, they don't look at that. They just look at scale, operations, projections, while we are somewhat more realistic. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but considering the whole
No, I think
scenario
it's a fair
changing-
balance, because I
Absolutely.
think we're very clear that money makes money.
Yeah.
Money makes money from internal accruals. Money also makes money from the growth that you need to get to that internal accrual, because the end result of every business is to be profitable. I'll come to Yash quickly. Yash, you're running a 60 crore business, 20% EBITDA, cash rich, only online, and now you're moving from offline. Like my friend Rohit was saying earlier, that the generation of today, which is Gen Z, and again, defining Gen Z to be the ones who are in 17 to maybe 25 and not 35, because I think that's a very different league where I fall into. But coming back to you, Yash, you are again moving from online to offline, which is what the Gen Z is seeing. They're exploring online to offline. You come from a city where it's known for its textile, it's known for its art. There are designers like Sabyasachi, etc., who've come out of here. Textile business has thrived. You will be maybe the next Manyavar coming out of Calcutta, which is a very proud feeling, a great platform to have. How are you looking at competing with a pioneer like Manyavar? How are you different from them? And secondly, how do you see this entire phase where you also raise funding? Fortunately, I was a major part of your round. I'm happy to be a proud investor in your company. But how are you seeing this phase of adoption to funding within the city? And another question, do you think that if you were not a Calcutta business and your PIN code was in Bangalore, would your valuation be higher?
So you have multiple questions, right? I'll answer the last question first. I seriously don't believe my PIN code would have impacted my valuation, maybe at the very first onset. But in the long term, everyone sees value, right? PIN code might be an entry barrier, but it is not definitely a decision maker in the end, right? And on the frugality bit, what you guys were discussing of growth versus profitability, I strongly believe this is the core ethos of what Calcutta businesses stand for. Both can be done together, right? Like, we have been profitable all throughout and going at a CAGR of 50% for the last 4 years, right? And I believe that if we continue the same CAGR for the next 10 years, right, we'll be a 1,000 crore company at the same profitability, right? Manyavar beautifully has delivered that. So I don't believe that, growth should come at the cost of profitability. There is definitely a way of doing both together, right? And I'm sorry, I missed out on one of the questions you asked.
No, I think where I was coming from is that, Calcutta is known to be that that creative mindset where you've got designers like Sabyasachi, etc., coming in, does it make it easy for you to build a textile garment designer business? And how would you define Kisah today? How are you different from Manyavar?
Absolutely. So in terms of difference from Manyavar, I would like to say, like, what we are doing is essentially making a boring category fun, energetic, vibey, and bold. These are the buzzwords which the youth resonates with. So when we went deeper into understanding our consumers, what we figured was, the youth wants to embrace Indian wear, ethnic wear everywhere, but they are bored of wearing the same stuff they've seen their father, grandfather wear over the ages. They want a spunk to it. They want their representation coming into their attire. And we've seen beautifully that happening for us. A very vivid example, the first color which comes to everyone's mind when we talk about a dhoti is a white, maroon, blue, or a black. For us, a hot pink is the highest selling dhoti. That's the edginess we bring to the age-old category, right? And when it comes to Manyavar, I would say Manyavar is the reason why we exist today, because they are the ones who've created this category. Earlier, ethnic wear, was once in a year, wearing it on a Diwali with family. Today, ethnic wear is everywhere. You need 10 different Diwali parties to attend, iftar parties to attend. You need 7 different looks for weddings. So I think Manyavar has created this market. But what we are focusing, because of how large the market has become, Manyavar is essentially a destination for the groom, right? We stand for the 200 people who the groom invites for the wedding, who really want to do stand up, dress up, be their best selves. So we stand for them, and we are focusing on their aspirational fashion needs.
So yeah, I'll pick another leaf from there. So Jewelbox, consumer business, Kisah, consumer business. Before I come to Gaurav, which is a very different business, a very exciting business for me, I'll come to Vikram, which is also another consumer business. Vikram, you're in the food space. I proudly say Calcutta is the food capital of the country. Now, there was this saying that what Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. But is that a thought of the past, or is that still a reality? Because somewhere, you guys, people like, Nipun and Yash here are proving that innovation is very different. How would you be different? Because somewhere there is a major lack of innovation coming out of the city. Otherwise, you would not see people coming on stage and saying that, go visit a Bangalore, go visit a Bombay. That means we do need to learn. And that is a reality check that we all believe we need to have to. And I believe people from those cities also need to come and learn a few things here. But somewhere I feel we are more tilted towards going outside and figuring things out. Just like the whole of India is more tilted towards going to the valley, going to the US and figuring out what is working there. I mean, most of the big businesses that have been built here are a replica of what was built in the US, in the West. But when we talk about innovation in food in your category, which is juices, how do you portray yourself to be different compared to anyone else selling juice anywhere in the country? I mean, you've now moved from Calcutta to Hyderabad. If you can just explain that journey as to what was it like going out of Calcutta? What was the acceptance? Why did malls want you to be there in the first place?
So Sagar, I totally agree with you. Bengal thinks first and India or the world thinks next. And the reason, let me share with my experience. So when we started the Yellow Straw, and when it comes to juices, across India, there were traditional juicers only. And we were the first one across India who came out with the cold press juicing technology on the retail format. We went across, Delhi, NCR, everywhere, and we met almost each and every, manufacturer, can we get cold press juicers? Many of the best of the manufacturers were not even aware of the technology. Then we have been able to import those machines from Korea, and we started our business. Later, after I think 3 to 4 years after, Bombay and other cities started using this cold press technology when it comes to retail format. Now, just give you another example. Now in last 1 year, we decided to move out of city and explore other cities as well. We visited at least 4 to 5 cities, and we zeroed on to Hyderabad. What are the biggest learnings? So when it comes to healthier alternatives or any of the healthier items, we think that the Bangalore of the world or the Gurgaon of the world, they must be doing great. None of the player, believe me guys, none of the player have the kind of product range what we have into the healthier alternatives. So there might be some players across India, they might be only into juices, might be only into salads or something like that. So we are the, I would say, one-stop journey for any of your healthier alternatives. We met one of the guy at mall. So during our first initial round, we went to malls to present our, what the Yellow Straw is. They were so impressed, they agreed immediately that we would like to have in our mall, and they replaced one of their existing juice player, which were there for 5 years, and they were doing great. So that is what we always want to say, what kind of product you are offering, what kind of,
But
the market.
Vikram, just to come in here, sorry. You've obviously taken your time here, understood things. Now you've gone to Hyderabad. Now in today's day and age, no one is indispensable. No technology is indispensable. You have to be the first movers, have to play the first mover advantage. Like you said, you went to one mall and they replaced you. What if some other player comes in and who raises funding, raises capital, scales up faster? Because I agree, idea is there, ideation is there. Today you're in a position where you can even ideate faster. What is stopping you from raising funding and growing faster? Because if you miss the bus now, maybe it might be too late. But what is it that keeps you confidence of bootstrapping and continuing to bootstrap?
So, Sagar, I would like to take cue from what you recently said. Calcutta as a culture, if you see, what is Calcutta? We are into trading mindset. So, be it any of our, forefathers, my grandfather, my father. So, profit first is what our, I would say, core is. And whenever we start our business, we always want to make profitable. It's not that, and as rightly said by Kisah, Yash, that we don't want to compromise profit for growth. Same way we don't want to compromise growth for profit also. Now I think that we are in a best spot where we would like to, instead
I
of
get that
addition,
logic.
we want to get into multiplication.
Profit ho gaya abhi. You've proven the model. Like even I ran 7 years Wow Momo, profit, bootstrap, got to 40 stores. But then there was a time when I had to raise funding to grow faster. So that, what I could achieve in the next 10 years was maybe 100x more of what I would have done otherwise.
So definitely we will also explore funding. So it's not that we are anti-funding. I think this is the sweet spot where we are into that we can explore funding as well.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
You're looking at it. I mean, there is
Yes,
a
yes,
mindset change.
we will. So we definitely it's
funding, franchising, whatever. I mean, whatever
yes,
can help you scale
for
faster.
for sure.
Coming to Gaurav now, I think I met Gaurav for the first time today and I'm so impressed by what he's building. I think proud to see a fintech startup coming from Calcutta. Gaurav, you're in a very interesting, peculiar business where you make a lot of our products sell, especially in my case and in Vikram's case, because if those people who earn 40, 50K a month don't get debt from you, maybe they will not spend in buying a Momo or not spend in having a juice. But you were mentioning to me your workforce and you were saying that you have 2,500 people employed in Calcutta, but yet you have a tech team in Bangalore. If you can just tell me how does your business dynamic works operating from Calcutta and building a fintech business where you don't see many fintech houses coming from here?
So our business is, thank you for that, Sagar. So our, yes, our business is unique. I mean, when we started out giving 500 rupee loans to college students over a mobile app when doing transactions over a smartphone was not common at all, financial transactions. This is 2016 when, most banks did not have apps, UPI was not there. So very different time. But clearly there is a need in the market, right? And there are people out there, like we give loans to gig workers, we give loans to, people who are earning 15, 20,000 rupees a month. As you said, a lot of these people, they need money. Everybody needs to manage cash flows and you fall short at some point. But most of them in the Indian context will not get credit from, let's say, a bank. They'll not get a personal loan from a bank or get a credit card, etc. So how do they manage that? I mean, that is where we come in and that's the kind of customer that we focused on, right? Now, as we built this business, we built it out of Calcutta, started the business, but it's always been a digital business. So it's not like our customers were concentrated in the city. Our customers are pan-India. But as we built it out, what we realized is, despite being digital, there's a lot of hand-holding that customers need, especially in a business like ours at the onboarding stage, right? So when people are kind of doing their KYC, they want to understand the product, they have some problems. So we realized that, you don't need to be purely digital. I mean, there's nothing in that. It's, as we said, I mean, it's about doing business and ultimately getting the job done and delivering the product. If that requires manual intervention, so be it. So that is when we started hiring people effectively to act as, call center agents to assist our customers. And we're very different compared to other companies who would mostly outsource this. We've kept this in-house. And, we've built out a team of more than 2,000 people here in Calcutta who are able to assist our customers at various points in their journey, right? We have like a 250 people customer service team because today we have close to 1 crore customers. Now these customers, they have some query or the other, it comes in, we want to resolve them quickly. We want to achieve a good customer satisfaction. So that's where the requirement for people comes in. I mean, I think AI is going to play a role in the future, but as of today, it still requires a lot of manual intervention, right? But what we did realize as we were growing the business is there's a certain type of talent you need, and we realized that highly skilled people, unfortunately, had, for the most part, kind of moved out of the city over time. So when you want to hire head of product, a CTO, etc., the pool is not as deep in Kolkata. There are a lot of people who are from the city, but now they've subsequently moved out, did their education somewhere, now they're settled in Bombay, Bangalore, etc. So that's, when we started looking at really building our tech, etc., that's where Bangalore came in as a good option for us.
So can we say that the heavy lifting is done from Calcutta, and that's how maybe the culture is, and the tech piece, you've kept it in Bangalore? Maybe it's even cheaper in Bangalore because of the availability of techies there.
Yeah, I don't know about cheaper, but but that's where the people are, and that's where the preference of people is. So we just find, it's easier to find talent.
No, I'll pick up the next
Bangalore.
question from there, from people, because that's a big elephant in the room that I think we all want honest answers to. So let's talk about talent. Let's talk about workforce. Let's talk about culture. When I mean culture, the work culture, the question is to the entire panel, and maybe I'll start with Kisah first, because you've built a full e-commerce business, and I know the challenges you faced in in attracting the right talent. Is it difficult to get the right talent here in Calcutta, or have the way of looking at things changed?
I think, now a lot of like what Gaurav rightly pointed, there's been historically a lot of brain drain, but now a lot of people are willing to come back to Calcutta, right? Provided they have the right opportunity. And what we felt in the hiring journey is there's a lot of empowerment which people are looking for. So if there is a skin in the game, they have an ESOP, they are valued, as a core building member of the team working, there are lots of people who are willing to come back to Calcutta. So from that point, in the last couple of 5-6, senior position hires that we've done, there are people who've relocated from Gurgaon, from Bangalore, from Pune, right? Everyone's come back.
Is it because I would say that earlier those people got exported from the city to other towns because there were lesser options, lesser new age businesses, but today we see tons of new age business coming, thriving, maybe raising fund, being in an ability to giving ESOPs. At the same time, they have parents living here. Like for example, in our case, we are hiring a very, very expensive and senior CTO. And he's coming from one of the Fortune 500 companies. And for him, coming to Calcutta was never an option unless he said, if I get a Manyavar or I get a Senko Gold or I get a Wow Momo, I can't look at anyone else. But I think times are changing. Things are changing. They have parents here. They want to live with parents. I think the cost of living is cheaper here. Rentals are cheaper here. They have their own houses. But the challenge I still face is that there is a trouble with the hustle culture, right? We all talk about the hustle culture in Bombay, in Bangalore, in Delhi. Somewhere there is this laid back attitude of the city. Do you see that changing, especially in startups like yours, which is growing at 100% year on year?
Absolutely. This is the biggest inhibition which people interviewing for Calcutta jobs have, right? कि एकदम आराम से काम होगा, slow चलेगा. People coming from Bangalore, Bombay are used to a fast pace, fast decision making, making mistakes, turning around things, right? So if they get that kind of an environment, and which I believe a lot of new age businesses in the city now have, I know for a fact how Jewelbox and Yellow Store and Wow Momo, I've seen closely how they are operating. It's a proper hustle culture where everyone is learning new every day, and it's a very collaborative effort. I think that is something which is a much big tick in the box for people coming back, and I think this is popping up in the city a lot. A lot of new businesses have changed the way of how they work.
And how about you, Nipun? How do you look at the workforce phase? Because I'm sure with building a jewelry brand, which is again a lot to do with design, with architecture, you continue having your HO here in Calcutta. I'll come to the second part of the question later, that why Bangalore for a large store outside Calcutta as your first city, and how difficult was it to go out of Calcutta and look at it? But coming to the human resource part of it, how different have you found the journey, especially before appearing in Shark Tank and after appearing in Shark Tank?
So I think before appearing in Shark Tank and after appearing in Shark Tank, one thing I realized is HR is the most important function in the company. Right? So I think before appearing in Shark Tank, we were a team of
So you can proudly say that you look at HR as a profit center, not as a cost center.
Absolutely.
A lot of recruitment firms
Yes,
here, make a note.
100%. So we were a team of 30. Today we are a team of 115, and that's 1 year. Now, I think it's all about the company culture, setting the expectations right on day one. At the time of interview, our strategy is interview more and more, but select less. So I think every single day there are 3 or 4 interviews. That's definitely happening with people coming to office. And a lot of virtual interviews are also going on. So we are very, very selective when it comes to hiring. What we look at is exactly what Yash said. We look at people who are willing to hustle. We are right now in a position where things are getting settled in terms of departmental roles, what functions are there. But the last 1 year, it was a lot of jugaad mentality that we did, a lot of operations streamlining that we ventured into. And I think that built the base for growth. For example, till October, we were just in Kolkata. In the month of October, we went to Guwahati, we went to Chennai, and we went to Delhi in 1 month. 3 different cities with 3 different consumer mindsets when it comes to jewelry. Jewelry is a very nuanced thing when it comes to the designs, right? A design what will work in Guwahati will definitely not work in Chennai, right? So the team was ready, the team was all geared up to take it head on. And that's when we took it as a challenge on us that let's go to 3 different cities, let's prove our model, let's prove that we are doing things right. And all 3 cities are doing wonderfully well.
And
today.
in your kind of business, from what I understand, is that because it's a high value business, you don't have to have all the power centralized to one place because you will be opening stores in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. You can regionally divide it. But again, there is this rumor that I heard that a lot of these people who make these artificial diamonds are getting threats from the real diamond makers. Have you ever faced any of those situations being here in Calcutta?
Fortunately not, because we do not come from a background in jewelry. I think if we were from jewelry background, then a lot of jewelers who probably knew us, or the contacts that you build over a period of time, right, within the fraternity, then they would know us and they could say something to us. But I think since we did not have any background, no one could come to us and say anything. But that was definitely something which was very true up till 2022. 22,
And it's
23.
a proven model now that this is not a fad. This is here to stay.
Absolutely.
It's here to disrupt the diamond jewelry sector for sure.
100%. Look at US. US is the world's largest market for diamonds. 1 out of every 2 diamonds in the world is consumed in US. That market is 52% now lab grown. So that automatically brings the volume of lab grown markets just because of US as 25% of total diamonds. And this is growing at a phenomenal pace, and now all the other countries are also catching up.
Okay, coming to Vikram, what made you choose a Hyderabad or not a Bangalore or a Delhi or a Bombay when you went out of Calcutta? And how have you tried to keep the learnings of Calcutta, or every brand coming out of Calcutta has a culture to it, right? How have you tried to maintain that culture yet change and reinvent yourself when it goes to going out of your comfort zone and going to a new region? What have you learned?
So firstly, why Hyderabad? We went to Bangalore, we went to Chennai, Gurgaon, and what we have realized that the pace of Hyderabad, what Hyderabad is right now will give us the advantage what Bangalore was 10 years back. The growth, everything is brilliant when it comes to, and Hyderabad is attracting a lot of migrant crowds. So these migrant crowds need outside food. So that was one of our obvious choice, the city growth rate, migrants. So this makes us very, and their high-tech city, within that 4 to 5 kilometer radius, we can easily open 12 to 15 outlets within 1 year. So the growth, what we are looking at, Hyderabad was offering to us. And the learning of last 10 years, what the biggest learning was our supply chain and our focus towards the freshness. What we have realized when it comes to juice or anything, in last 5 to 10 years, people have realized that when it comes to juice, go for the fresh one. These Tetra Paks are sugar products. And this is exactly what we want to go ahead with our entire product zone. So what was our biggest, I would say, initial success we realized only because What we did, we prepared everything in front of our customers. So be it juice, be it salads, the moment they see the quantum of fruits what we are giving, we are not using ice or water for any of our juices. That immediately gave that confidence to our customers. And this is what we wanted to implement to each and every outlet. We placed our juicers, we placed our entire kitchen setup in front of our customer, so that they are very much confident about what they are eating.
Transparency. But what did you have to unlearn? Going out of Calcutta to a city like Hyderabad, what did you have to unlearn? If there's one thing that you would have to share.
Pace.
Be faster.
So, be faster. So that's, as we have said, we plan to open another 10 outlets or 10 to 12 outlets within this calendar year. And we think it's very much achievable. And that even within a, I would say, radius of 5 to 7 kilometers, we would be able to achieve it. So operationally, it's easy. And now we want to get into that pace.
So talking about pace, agility, my next question to the panelists, and I'll start with Gaurav. Gaurav, Kolkata is known for its adda. It's known for finding a jugaad in that adda. Can you tell me one such jugaad that became gold for you doing a fintech business from here?
I think what we have done pretty well compared to our competitors. I mean, today we are among the top 5 digital lenders in the country. Our customer acquisition cost is about 1/10 of what our competitors have. And I think that's been because we really focused very early on referrals and word of mouth and creating a good product, right, that actually warrants referral. So today about 40% of our customer acquisition, even today, is from referrals and organic traffic, right? So that is, I think, something that we learned early on and stuck to. And I think people are quite shocked when they kind of speak to us because they wonder how you're able to, acquire customers at such low cost. But I think it's about how you learn to do things, and it's not always that there's an easy way to do things. I mean, you can run very large brand campaigns, you can spend a lot of money. It's a little more difficult to build.
So we can say that maybe the culture here in Calcutta taught you to be frugal.
Absolutely. I think our costs along most dimensions, this one example I gave you, will be lowest in the industry.
And you would be having a loan book value of what amount at the moment?
So currently we will be disbursing more than 1,000 crores a month.
And how many customers that would be?
Customers, around 1 crore customers.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's talk about more numbers. Yash, how many PIN codes do you service here from Calcutta?
So we've been servicing around 7,500 PIN codes across the country now, from a small town in Nagaland to remote areas of Jammu to Kanyakumari.
And everything goes from Calcutta?
Everything goes from Calcutta.
And how about exports? Are you doing exports also?
Yes, absolutely. We are available in a one-day delivery across the entire United States, UK, Middle East. So in US itself, we are serving around 1,800 PIN codes on a daily basis.
And you would be what? Ranked number 1 in Myntra?
Ranked number 2 because number 1 is always the in-house brand. So we are number 2 for them.
Got it. If Rohit is here and listening to me, he'll understand why I'm a bit wary of Swiggy doing snack and having private labels. But yeah, Nipun, how about you? If you can throw some numbers, what would be your delivery business in jewelry and a significant ticket size?
So our website does about 70-75 lakh rupees a month, and I think we have more.
And this is completely your own website,
yeah,
D2C?
just our website.
You're not there in any marketplace as such?
No, and I think in terms of the market that we are in, it's still in a nascent stage. It's more than 50% market share.
Awesome. 50% market share. That means you can be the market creator here.
In digital, yes.
Awesome. And what would be the ticket size, like the average order value in online?
Our AOV is 42,000.
Wow, 42,000 being sold online. Awesome. Vikram, how have you seen the AOVs for you go up from Calcutta as compared to a Hyderabad? If you can throw some numbers on your business.
So when we started, during our R&D period, people said, Calcutta mein koi juice nahi pita, chai wali city hai. So now currently what we are selling is more than 30,000 orders per month, and our AOV is around 400 plus. And when it comes to Hyderabad, I think we are at a very nascent stage, and we are without any, I would say, any kind of marketing. We are more than break even within 2 months.
Awesome. Break even in 2 months.
Yes.
That's payback of your investment into the store.
Yeah.
Wow.
Operational break even, I would say.
You don't need funding, man. You can fund us. Just joking. But guys, exactly 10 minutes left, so I'll open it up to the audience. And you guys can address your question to any of the panelists. Speak your mind out, express yourself. If you can have someone to pass on the mic, please. If you can just raise your hand so that if we have a question. Yeah, anyone in the audience with any questions? Yeah, we have someone there, extreme left. If you can just name yourself and refer whom the question is to.
Yes. Hi, my name is Vikash. I'm from Omnifin and I'm part of TiE. So question, I think anybody can answer this. What's your take on the kind of talent that you have in Kolkata versus the mindset of the talent that you have in other parts of the country? For example, you could talk about Hyderabad versus Kolkata. Any thoughts or perceptions around it?
So right now I can say, obviously the other cities are having better talents, no doubt about it. But at the same time, what we are saying, recently we have, been able to get our national head, all because of Calcutta, because he wants to come back to Calcutta. But till now, just to give you very precise, yes, when it comes to talent pool, other cities have better talent pool. There is potential in Calcutta, yes.
So the way I look at it is that Calcutta gives birth to that talent. Maybe we are not able to retain that birth. Like, I don't know how many of you know, one of the founders of Lenskart is from Calcutta. One of the founders of Cars 24 is from Calcutta. I think job of entrepreneurs like us, new age startups, and all of you here is how do you retain that talent here? And I think we all are working towards it. I think more and more success stories will ensure talent retaining here, people looking at businesses here, people looking at life here, and we're seeing it happen. I mean, for us, we've done some 4 C-suite recruitments in the last 3 years, and everyone is now happily living in Calcutta, some from Calcutta and some from outside being exported inside. So I think we are in the right direction, to be honest.
Thank you, Sagar. You've just answered my follow-up question. Thank you so much.
Thanks. We have Manish ji here, right in front. We have someone at the back also. Someone had raised their hand. If you can raise your hand also again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Ronit here. My question is to Yash. So you mentioned that you are also doing one-day delivery across US, UK, and other countries as well. And everything that you send is from Kolkata. So can you please give us how the supply chain works and how quickly you actually make it happen? And also the end user dynamics are same that is supposed to be here in India and also in the US.
So the user dynamic is very, very different. Unfortunately, the Indian consumers have been brought into the digital world with a lot of pampering and freebies, 30 days return policies, and then which leads to a lot of trickle-down abuse. Right? In US, the customers are far more nuanced. They actually read each and every small detail on the listing page. They get back to you with queries. Once they are completely sure of what they want is when they place an order. So the order to return ratio in US is 25% of what we see in India. So the customer there is much, much evolved. And coming to the other question in terms of how do we manage the deliveries, it's through a network of warehouses, right, which are locally there. Like you see the worlds of Blinkit operating. We use an Amazon network, Walmart network. We use their warehouses, and to bring the cost down, the entire shipment is sent in bulk via ships, right, and then distributed in their local warehouses to be able to achieve a one-day delivery there.
Got it. Thank you.
Manish ji, your question, please.
Yeah, my question is for Vikram. You are doing this juice business across, now you want to do scale across India. Unfortunately, before Sagar did it successfully, we didn't see any brand, Indian brand, scaling up in food business in such a scale across India, because the biggest challenge is the maintaining the quality. So like burger or pizza, what Domino's, KFC or McD has done, Sagar has built this momos which are sold across India. In juice, you cannot, the fresh juice, how do you maintain the quality? Because when you are scaling up, the biggest challenge will be maintaining the same quality. How do you ensure that?
So, sir, we are saying it into 2 parts. The first one is, at this point of time, we are not getting into any kind of franchise model. Each and every store is managed by us. So when the operation, the entire operation is with us, and when it comes to freshness, the supply chain, in last 10 years, if you ask what is our biggest, I would say success, it's all about managing the entire supply zone. The supply chain story is what our biggest strength is. And what we believe, the way technology is moving forward, very soon we will see some kind of technology, breakthrough coming into this part where we could easily achieve this at a very massive kind of scale, sir. So 10 years back when cold pressed juice was a bigger challenge for us, now, and within few months or within a year or so, we have been able to achieve it. And I think same with the kind of tech growth, we would be able to achieve the same.
So one more thing I'll add, the way Manishji technology has now evolved, you can have the same dal makhani that you make in your house. You can dehydrate it, take it to the US, put water to it, heat it, and it'll taste just the same. It'll be without preservatives, right? The way food technology is involved is that frozen has become the new fresh with no preservative, because it actually, at temperature control, it does not let any bacteria come in, right? It's only our thinking, our mindset in India ki yaar ye frozen hai to ye kharab hoga ya rakha hua hoga, but actually if it's well maintained, if in the entire chain there is no breakage of temperature abuse, it's actually as juicy and as fresh. And in his case, in fruits, he can just cut the fruits, make packets, blast freeze it, and that same packet can go into the mixie, churn up the food. So he can actually buy fruits from one farm and have the same taste for that same mango or same watermelon across the country. That's how food technology has evolved in our country. And I think that's what we call food tech. I mean, selling online is not food tech, that's e-commerce. So I think we've come a long way in India, and I'm sure Vikram would be looking at that. Any other questions, guys? We have 3 more minutes left, 3.5 minutes left. Quickly. Do you have a mic? Fast. And just pass on the mic to the next person so that we can then...
So hi, I'm Subhash Agarwal here. My question is to Gaurav. In terms of lending a small ticket that you do, what's the default rate and how do you identify the credit behavior of a new client that you acquire?
So for us, by choice, we are focused on a customer who tends to be higher risk because they're earning less income. They tend to be more prone to losing their jobs. They tend to be not very savings heavy, right? So any kind of cash flow disruption, some sudden medical expense or other expense comes up, and these people are prone to cash shortages. So it's an inherently risky customer segment, and we recognize that, and we've built systems and processes of evaluating such customers. And also our products are designed to give enough flexibility such that customers are able to kind of manage situations like that and still repay us. Default rates in particular, see, they vary a lot. I mean, we don't give money to one type of customer. We have various types of customers. We kind of segment them according to our own risk assessment into different buckets, and each bucket will have a very different kind of default rate. But in general, this is a very data-heavy business where we tend to use a lot of what is called alternate data, because a lot of our customers, almost 50%, do not actually have CIBIL scores, because we are their first formal lender. So we need to look at a lot of alternate data points, like their other transactions, bank transaction history, e-commerce transaction history, other kind of debits, credits, what other behavioral data about them, demographic data, location. So a lot of these things go into models, and we have teams that kind of work on this. And the way data works is the more data you have, the better the output of your models. Right, so I think that is something that works in our favor now. Having given loans to more than 1 crore people, I think we've built a very rich data set that helps us kind of underwrite and maintain reasonable default rates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question to my left. I'm sorry, the lady here. Okay, you can take it up. And there was one more hand that we had. Take up the question offline, please. Yeah, you can go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. This is to the entire panel actually, because most of the people in the panel are co-founders. So how exactly do you go about deciding that is the person you want to be in the business with, that's the person who's your co-founder? Because this is a marriage where, like, if it's dissolution, then it doesn't affect just the two families and the two people. It affects a lot of people's livelihoods. So how does it work?
Who will take it up? I'll avoid Yash and Nipun because their sisters are their co-founders. So yaar, bhai behan to chalta rehta hai. Gaurav, do you have a co-founder?
No.
Vikram, yeah, you can take it up.
So my co-founder is Maisala. His co-founder is sister. So it's more or less like that. But the most important trait, it's just like an old school marriage. You need to trust. And once you get that vibe that we can go along, and at the same time, you should have an agreement kind of model where you know if there's something bad happens, then you can have a happy exit. So both things are required, you know, the mindset as well as technical part to it.
So I'll tell you, I have 4 co-founders now. I mean, me and 3 more. None of them are my relatives. I think it's very clear that me and Binod started it back when we had nothing with 30,000. I think Binod just standing beside me was like 1 and 1 being 11 and not 2. I think I just needed someone to just be there with me. I think we both are completely different personalities. I'm very aggressive, very impulsive. He's very calm. I'm very fast. He's very slow. So I think we get along very well. Like the way they say opposite attracts. If I'm going very fast, he'll stop me down. But I think you need to understand where your strength and your weaknesses, and you need to have your value system in place. So for example, I will never judge my co-founder on his strength, on his weakness. I will always judge him as a support system. And then as you grow, you know, you need to share well to make well. So in 2015, I got in a third co-founder by giving him 10% equity when I was valued at 100 crores. So literally I'm giving someone 10 crores to come in because you need to share well to get wealth. Again in 2019, my CMO did a great job in COVID. We went from offline to online. Give out of respect, so wealth is not just money, wealth is also respect. Out of respect, give him a tag of a co-founder, although he just had 1% equity in the business. So I think you need to share wealth with people to make them feel empowered. You need to give the credit due where it matters. And I think when you do that, you come across as a very transparent person to your employers. Like today, I can say that, you know, out of my 6,000 employees, I can stand anywhere and there'll be 2,000 of them, 1/3 of them who'll take a bullet for me. Right? So that's the kind of army you need to build for your team. So I think it's about sharing wealth to making wealth. And you will make mistakes. So how you assess a co-founder is be very honest. A very good friend might not be a very good co-founder. Know that your strength and their strength should be different. If you all both have the same strength, then you're not adding value. So for example, Miftar, my CFO, I was never a numbers guy. If you put me in Excel sheets, my business would have gotten over by now. So he was a numbers guy. 1 rupee save was 5 rupees, and he could do cost control. Similarly, if I was a brand and a marketing guy, I had to run the business, so I had to get in a CMO and make him a co-founder because I needed to pass on the baton to someone else. So I think be very honest, be very upfront, and if you're getting into bed with a friend, I mean it in the real sense, you know, have the expectations set right, have the boundaries drawn right, and also make an assessment of what if things go bad, what will happen. So first things first is that, okay, our friendship will not get spoiled. You know, monetarily, if I've committed to you, even if I have to overpay you, it's okay. But there should be no bitterness. And I think people who can keep that word of mouth and value, by doing so, you also make the other person feel responsible to deliver. So there's a lot of soft energy that you need to play with. It's an art to get a co-founder. Pleasure. I think we're done. Time's up. Thank you so much.
All right, let's hear it for this generation of entrepreneurs who are breaking barriers for the Kolkata startup ecosystem. I'd like to invite Mr. Vijay Menon, Executive Director, TiE Global, to felicitate all the panelists. And I must say, Sagar, there was no one else better to moderate this panel, and so much value. If I were to make notes, I would be writing a book by now about this panel discussion. So let's give them a big round of applause for bringing some practical, first-hand insights about how Kolkata children, Kolkata youngsters are breaking barriers. तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट रुकनी नहीं चाहिए. The claps have to be a reflection of how much you appreciate them sharing their knowledge, their experiences with all of you. Can I request all the panelists and Mr. Vijay Menon to pose for a group photograph? अच्छा, तालियां बजाने से ब्लड प्रेशर लेवल्स भी रेगुलेटेड रहते हैं. Thank you so much once again.